Welcome back, Ella.
Hi, thanks.
Hi, long time no see. Influencers, one of my favorite topics. They come in a minute, they come in a lifetime, different times, different places. Can you share with us 2 or 3 people that have been influencers in your life?
Well, I think I have to say our parents, right? Our parents are our very first influencers. So for sure, mom and dad. But if we're thinking about, and I'll say, what's that?
Tell us a minute about mom and dad then.
A minute about mom and dad. Okay, so I think the most important thing about mom and dad was unconditional love. And mom and dad just wanted both my brother and I to be happy. And they supported us with just a lot of exploration. And in the end, I ended up in social enterprise and public health, and my brother ended up as an ecological engineer working on water. So whatever they did a good job.
And so then, yeah, they definitely did a good job. They were the early stage leaders who care. I call
they were early stage leaders who care. And at the center of everything for them was just a deep sense of gratitude for life and the opportunity that life offers all of us. So I'm grateful for that.
Anybody else?
For influencers? Yeah. I think one of my early influencers was a professor that I had in undergrad, Pinar Batur-Vanderlippe, who was a Turkish feminist, and she was one of my sociology professors. And she was the one who sort of awakened me to what was going on with the veil coming back in the Middle East, to reproductive health and rights. And this was in the early 90s when there was a lot of movement around the need for quality care, and the idea of women's rights being human rights. And that was very much at the heart of our discourse in class. And so I actually got to see her just before COVID, I guess it was a year and a half ago now. So still in touch with her. So Professor Vanderlippe. And then others, there have been a lot. There's a cohort of friends when I lived in Indonesia. I was teaching and I lived in Yogyakarta, but 3 of my closest friends at the time just were extraordinary people, and their value system and their playfulness and their tenacity. It was, when I think about it, I think about the kind of conversations that we had about what we wanted to be when we grew up, so to speak. And they went on, Sigit went on to become sort of the equivalent of a district attorney who wanted to root out corruption. And the other, Donnie, went on to become a land rights activist and lawyer for farmers. And Kinoy Linda went on to get her PhD in environmental studies and is a climate change activist and professor. And they were just, like the 4 of us were just this merry band. And for that time together, I'm grateful. And then when I went to the Council on Foreign Relations, Les Gelb was the president of the council, and Les is the author of the Tiananmen Papers, and he'd been an editor at the New York Times, and obviously had an incredible history in foreign policy. He was prickly on the outside, and he was a total teddy bear also, and he just really believed in young people, and he push us on and urge us on. And there was a moment where I had a career decision, and I work in an Ivy League school, reporting to about 5 or 6 professors as an executive director of an institute, one of whom was actually a Nobel Prize winner in economics. Or I could go work in strategy at an emergency response and global health organization. And he said, well, you could join one and you'll talk about doing good, or you can join the other and you'll actually learn how to do it and you'll actually get things done. And so I took his advice, and I ended up with AmeriCares. And so he was really influential in one of the first, in a really important career decision. And otherwise I would have ended up in like an academic universe, and I'm not an academic. So
I got it.
And then I have had extraordinary women mentors in my life. So really in every single role, from when I was in film with these two really, can I say it? Two really kick-ass production coordinators that I worked with. Then at the council, Anne Lozado and Nancy Bodertha just gave me so many opportunities. And Anne was Sandy Berger's, had been Sandy Berger's communications director, and she was unflappable, and she had so much grace and dignity, and she was so quick to get things done. I learned so much from her. When I went to AmeriCares, Elizabeth Frank, she had been a partner at McKinsey, and she had made a choice to step out of the private sector to work in a nonprofit. And her mind was incredible, and I learned so much about strategy from her. So well, yeah, I've been pretty blessed with some incredible women mentors in my life.
You know what?
Wait, no, there's one other, because I have to say her. So Judith Bruce. So Judith Bruce was, I met at the Population Council, and Judith is just a revolutionary when it comes to adolescent girls and child marriage and female genital mutilation and quality of care and reproductive health and rights. And I wrote one of my very first big international proposals with her on child marriage. And she really, and we helped to establish the Haiti Adolescent Girls Initiative together after the earthquake. And she's just a force, and I'm grateful for her as well.
Wow, if you were a building, all the different parts that they put together on you is incredible. A very lovely building, I'm not going to say, but I mean, that's, what it always tells me is that we should always be aware that we're influencing people all the time, and the impact it can make is beyond what we could believe sometimes. And so I'm so happy that you were able to share all of those, and that's their legacy. You become their legacy, basically, the way you're doing it with other people. So way to go. Thanks for sharing all that.
Thanks for that.